Hello, Facebook, Guided Intelligence Center. I hope you can hear me okay. I've been talking about a lot of things for many years now, about commanding and demanding and compelling yourself for more, or getting messages and whispers from source or from your super consciousness, and don't die with your music inside. And to me, dying with your music inside is when you're compelled with these voices inside to do more, to get things done, but you go to sleep. You just stay, you keep it inside. These internal voices are there. These missions are there. You want to do it, you want to get it done, but it just passes you by. You just dismiss it. You just dismiss it. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my my mic here. I don't know if you can see my mic. So what I've come to practice is stop dismissing your voice. Stop holding it inside. If you're gonna speak the truth, when are you gonna do it? When you die and your spirit tells you that you coulda, that you woulda, that you should have done it? Or are you gonna do it now? Most people talk a lot of shit. Most people say everything that they know, everything that they should do, that they know they could do or would do. They talk a lot of crap that they know. And most people that talk that they know what to do, or they could do this, or they should do this, or I'm better, I can get better, and I know what to do, I've gotten better, they're talking shit. They're just talking. When are they really gonna take action? And I'm talking to all the people that's listening to this message. The people that say, yeah, I'm messed up, or yeah, my daughter is messed up, or yeah, my relationship is messed up. But then you talk to them, they have all the answers for you. They have all the solutions for you. They have all of what they did and what they've done and who has helped them. But they have made it, right? They have the solution to what the psychologist couldn't do for them. They have this, like me, I had all that talk. Whatever that social worker said, they couldn't help me. I had to do it myself. I've lived my life. I've got this far, but then yet you're living this life, raising family, raising children, talking to people, communicating with people, like you have all the answers. I talk to a lot of people, potential clients that say, I'm good now. I know what to do, and I've made it this far. And their ego gets in the way of asking questions. their pride gets in the way of coming up with a solution and being vulnerable enough to be like, shut that internal dialogue off and say, is there anything I can do to improve? Is there anything I can do to get better? What should I do now? How can I get better? What's the missing link? But they don't. They say, oh, we're way better now. So they vent, they tell all their problems, all their trauma, but then their ego doesn't want to come to a conclusion of whether they're complaining or giving a solution to their own complaint. That's how people are. It's just crazy to me knowing that I died, and I know that people who are ready to change, who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, they're not ready. The only time they're going to be ready is when it's too late. Then they're going to realize all the whispers, everything that their friends and family and people told them they should have done. When they drop the ball, when their marriage is over, when their relationship is over with their children, with their family. Meanwhile, people were there to help, but they didn't want to listen. Another thing is, you know when you watch those podcasts, you know when you watch documentaries and podcasts and interviews, and you're sitting there, if you're awoke, right? If you're awoke and you're sitting there and you're like, they're going back and forth and you're like, I hope this interviewer asked that person or that person who is recognized around the world a certain question, a bullet point or a button to push or trigger. I'll give you an example. Abraham Hicks was interviewed and she channeled Abraham and she was asked, what are your thoughts on the terrorist attacks or on 9/11? And she's channeling and connecting to Abraham, and yeah, it's coming to me, and and she's talking in tongues and saying, yeah, it's a terrorist attack. It's unfortunate. We need love and peace and abundance on this planet Earth. And, the only way is to heal the planet and all that. And I'm like sitting here, I'm like, if you're channeling, why aren't you getting the real message, right? People who research, watch Gaia TV and who's been researching for decades and decades that have the real answers. The CIA came up with conspiracy theorists. So people who speak the truth about things that the world doesn't really know about, that's being hidden and secluded from us for hundreds of years, that come to us in pieces that we find out now about technology and about science and about global warming, or the truth about the certain artifacts in the ocean and religious things that are being hidden. They come in doses, but these things are hundreds of years old. And if you're channeling, if you're a medium, you're a psychic, shouldn't you know better answers? Researchers, people who are called whistleblowers, have better answers than people who are channeling to so-called source, saying, yeah, we just need peace and abundance, and yeah, it's terrorist attacks are unfortunate. Do you not know about the truth? I'm about the truth. And you know what I'm talking about. People who are awoke know the truth about what it really was. So that's my predicament, or that's my pet peeve about podcasts. And I called out a podcast that I was on. I was on a podcast. And I went on there and I said, that channeler couldn't even answer about global warming. And saying, yeah, this is about a harmonious, and this is about, all energies, and, it has to do with mankind's energies that's heating up the earth and the negativity, and it's about, it's not just the fossil fuels and the gases and this. And I'm like, okay, What else? But there's more to global warming than what meets the eye. There's so much more if you dive in deep into research and you understand, and you have to look at perspectives. You have to look at 20 different scholars, 20 different theories, 20 different examples and explanations before you come to a conclusion of what's the truth. Let me just check. Let's see here. Yeah, these are things you can't die with, you can't go to sleep. We got to wake up, and there's a fine line between harmony, bliss, joy, balance, love, gratitude, and awareness, and knowing, and truth, and what's really happening. We can't get caught up in it. I've went down those rabbit holes before where I would get caught up in certain things where it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve your energy. You got to stay awoke, my friends. You got to stay awoke. To stay awoke, you got to consume content 24/7, 365 days a year, year after year after year after year. And that's what it takes to truly live authentically, is to know that fine line between how far you're going astray versus how far ahead you're moving. You got to move 20 steps ahead. And if you're moving 20 steps ahead and you move one step back, you're 20 steps back, which means you got to replace that one step back 20 times just to replace that one mistake. It's like in parenting and relationship. If you say a bad thing to your wife, don't think a sorry is gonna cut it. Don't think a few days of fixing that vibration is gonna cut it. You really got to take a deep look inside of the wound and see how deep and far healing you need. The spiritual awakening needs not just spiritual awakening. You need a mind, body, spirit awakening. I've been talking about this for years. There's scientists out there that are focused on the mind. They're focused on quantum science, physics, cells and all this. But they're not willing to surrender and detach and be open to consciousness. So they're lacking the spiritual side, and now they're trying to utilize and be aware and surrender to spirituality and consciousness. If there's a psychic out there that's solely focused on healing people and doing their psychic abilities to tell you about your past life, or they're a medium trying to connect to your family members, and they're serving the world, they're serving people, right? I've had clients that say what they're serving in is their fulfillment, their purpose. And I ask them, that what makes you happy? Well, my happiness comes from my service. And I say, okay, so why are you with me today? Okay, well, I want to address this. Okay, so you get fulfilled from serving. Then I go back to that. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, if your happiness and fulfillment comes from your service, and you are serving people and their happiness, okay, now that psychic, that medium that is, let's say, overweight, doesn't know much about the health industry, the mass the masses, the organization, the conspiracies, the health industry, the government, and what's happening around the world, they only know one area in their life. Okay? And they're calling themselves service providers and fulfilled. That is half fulfilled. That is not fulfillment, that's half fulfilled. If they're going home eating granola bars and KFC and chicken McNuggets and pop because they're overweight, you can see where they're lacking in their growth. Right? Like there's beautiful people on planet Earth, right? I'm not saying I'm perfect or everyone's perfect, but I'm saying you are accountable of your own actions and your own results in life and your downfalls. If you are unaware of something, that's a different thing. But if you are listening to this and you're aware that you didn't know about the food industry, research it, understand that. So I understand, don't have a victim mindset, but don't justify saying I'm a service provider and I'm fulfilled, I'm purposeful. You're really not, you're half fulfilled, because when you die, your spirit is going to talk to you and whisper everything to you, all the realities that you weren't focused on and paying attention to. Start paying attention to what you're not so good at, what you're not noticing, what you're not paying attention to. Be a student of life. You know, so that medium, that psychic that's healing millions of people, you know, doing readings and stuff, is going home at the end of the day. They're obese, they're overweight, they're eating unhealthy. That beautiful person inside needs to be alive for generations to come, right? So don't you think they should understand more about holistic healing, their health, their mindset, their body set? You know? Not just tapping into spirituality in different realms and doing mediumship work. They should also take care of their body, their mind, and spirit. You know, it's all love. I'm not crucifying and condemning anybody. We want to redeem them. So I want to educate them and say, hey, you are a beautiful person taking care of people, but why are you still half fulfilled? You're unfulfilled. Something is bothering you inside because maybe your neurons are sending different signals because of your pancreas, maybe because of your gut bacteria, maybe because of the food you eat, the food choices. So start taking a dive deep into what's missing instead of finding fulfillment, half fulfillment, serving people. Focus on everything in life. Don't just focus on one area. You can do multiple things in life. You know, guys, I don't know who I'm talking to, who's listening out there. It doesn't really matter. All I know is I matter, and when I die, and if I fell asleep with these thoughts and intentions inside, what type of person would I be? I already died with my whispers inside, my awakenings, my wake-up calls. I would have been awoke, and it would have told me, you were gonna speak about the truth, but you're dead now. Your body is over. Your brain thought these things, and you could have spoken something. You could have said something about the truth. You know, the CIA is who developed conspiracy. When we speak the truth, you know, we gotta keep our energy up. Stay with the light. This is not negativity. Using negativity for positive outcomes is leveraging and understanding how to use dark matter. When people hold you down and when there's toxic negative energy in the world and you're going down a rabbit hole, it's not negative. You got to find a balance, how to stay above that toxic energy and what's happening in the world, and don't get sucked in. There's a fine line. Don't keep watching the news for hours, you know, TikToks and YouTube. Keep your awareness alive. Yeah, I'm a victim of TikTok and shorts and video shorts and YouTube shorts and it's crazy out there. How do you find balance and harmony in life? How do you find balance and harmony in life? How do you differentiate your awareness from your consciousness? How do you find the difference? This is private sessions I do with my clients that I break it down day after day after day after day for them to become aware and awoke. You are source. You are source. You are connected to source. So your awareness is innate, is divine. It is there. And what is holding it down is the food, the thoughts, the mindset, the negativity, the harboring thoughts, the emotions, the subconscious mind, the paradigms, the memories of the past, the posts, the commercials, the propaganda, the commercials, the news, the conspiracy. If we take control, take our awareness, and use our consciousness to be conscious of the choices we're making and the conscious thinking and the thoughts we're utilizing day to day, that is what we have to do every day to get heightened awareness. Otherwise, our awareness is tainted. Our spirituality can be tainted. Mine was tainted for decades. Until I was 30 or in my late 20s, I had to die to get a bang in my head to smarten the fuck up and wake up. You don't have to die. And you know I love this because I don't care who follows me, who leaves me, or who likes this or doesn't like it. The ones who love it, love it. The ones who don't should go, because though you clearly aren't getting the message. You are all about posts and tags and hashtags and likes and loves and circumstances outside of yourself, feelings that dictate, the feelings outside of ourselves, the thoughts outside of ourselves that dictate how we feel inside. So we utilize our awareness, our consciousness, and our perspective in the wrong freaking way. We're so caught up and sucked up in what's right and what's wrong and what's this and what's that and following like sheeple. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry, because this is not about living life every day just to stay the way that we are staying and conforming. Do not conform. Teach your kids. Talk to your teachers. Teach your kids to talk to you as a parent. Teach children to speak up. Tell your children that they are right, that you love them and you are correct. I am wrong. Surrender. Drop your ego and drop your pride. And I do all of this work. And I could do it all. I could do it all right now. I could do it. But if you want to do it properly, you need to surrender. Can you be told that you're a walking and talking and living contradiction? You're a joke? The reason why you are where you are and your kids are how they are is because of you. It is not conditioning. It is not Instagram. It is not TikTok. It is not YouTube. And it's not because of the world. You are in control. You can fix yourself, your consciousness, so you change the future paradigms and change the karmas and the cycles and the patterns. Fix yourself. Don't blame your kids. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame your parents. And then self-identify. Understand, appreciate, and respect, and forgive. and don't condemn. It's not your job to condemn. It's not your job to play God. That is what we get trapped in. It's your job to give it up and say, God, I can't do this anymore. Take it away from me. I take the control away. Give the control up. Okay. Hey, Tammy. How are you? Are you still there? Are you still here? You want to jump on here with me? I don't know how to do that. Oh, I can invite you. Let's see. Let's see if people are willing to just jump on. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see here. Let's see how fun this is gonna be. I don't know how to do that. Oh, I can invite you. Let's see that. Okay, I'm gonna pause this. Okay. And go out of here. There we go. If people are willing to just jump on, like, you know what I mean? Let's see here. Tell me what to talk about. I want to grab some water here shortly too. But let's do this. This is the time to get awoke. I love contradictions. You look, I'm not a channeler, but I know I have the ability. I'm not a psychic, but I know I have the ability. I'm not a medium, but I know I have the ability. I'm not telepathic, but I know I have the ability. And we all do. So those people that you see channeling, contradict them. Ask questions that you're gonna contradict them. People, I've watched thousands of podcasts and documentaries. And these interviewers aren't asking the poking questions. Oh my gosh. Sometimes people do. Like Joe Rogan really kind of does a good positive persuasion and manipulation, a great attack with love and sincerity. But he also, it's like he uses confidence and conviction and great communication to do it. You got to start doing that, knowing the truth, and don't just let some specialist tell you what it is and you'd be like, Don't run a podcast just to run a podcast for likes and followers. Like, what are you living for? Tell the truth, call out the truth. Be like, well, if you're channeling right now and you're connecting to these super conscious aliens, then why are you saying global warming is just this? Or why are you saying that there's terrorist attacks when you know it's inside jobs? Like tell the truth, speak the truth. People who love brushing things under the carpet, eh? That's why all these families have family problems. Because all the families and subconscious paradigms are messed up. They want to brush everything under the carpet, right? It's a rare occasion that people are willing to come and commune together and do something. You know, they just want to be comfortable. The whole point of life is for your spirit to grow, to be uncomfortable from what we're so used to, what's so common. So I was saying I love contradiction, I've had so many clients, so many beautiful people. I don't even want to call them clients. I want to call them beautiful people, beautiful souls. Tell me, you know, I've talked to so many people and they don't like being questioned or asked questions, or when I'm confused about an answer and I have to keep asking, they don't like it. They just expect you to take what they've told you. But you, I can just dive in deeper and contradict and tell you another story or what someone else has told me, or, you know, for example, there was one contradiction. I'll give you an example of I was telling one of my clients to listen to audiobooks while you sleep, right? And there's many ways to go about it. You can listen to audiobooks while you're awake, while you're in the kitchen cooking. But then I said while you're asleep, right? I could have said any other way, but I said it specifically just to challenge, but just sit back and listen. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And she's like, well, I have a question about that. I went to a seminar and these specialists were talking on that, exactly on that, saying it doesn't work. And I said, why not? Why doesn't it work? Well, and they give their whole science and backstory about it, that it doesn't pick. Your subconscious mind picks it up. Half the time you're in thought, you're awoken, your subconscious mind is aware, and you're sleeping in thought anyways. It never shuts down. So why not positively persuade it or manipulate it by listening to a specific audiobook? Ones that serve you, serve your higher consciousness. And your subconscious is going to pick up bits and pieces of what was necessary at the time, what you need, based on setting an intention and direction before bed. I'm not upset when I talk like that. It's passion. My clients know me best, so people who are just discovering about me and not knowing me and have their prejudgments, that's fine. It doesn't matter anyways to me. But just so you understand me, it is passion, and it's to cause an effect, right? And then I have the love and the understanding and the mellow and the calm downness. You know, I can explain things differently and say, you know, for what you need, right? Your subconscious is gonna pick up everything that it needs, right? So try it. Listen to audiobooks, specific good ones for like your mind, your subconscious mind, science, you know, anything you're trying to learn. You know, I used to do this. You know, I have to answer a lot of questions on my YouTube channel. They were asking me, I want to know how Malcolm was able to pass his exams with A+ and 96 percentile percentage when he went to college, when he was a grade 6, grade 7 dropout. How did he end up being in his 20s, going back to college, never going back to school, and starting from ground zero and passing everything? How did he tap into his consciousness? How did he ask source for answers and shapes and signals? You know, when you watch TV shows and you see people with autism or Asperger's getting shapes and mathematical equations? I did that. I had everything in my subconscious mind come to me from everything I studied, but we get so caught up with anxiety, stress, PTSD, depression gets in our way that we get cloudy and the brain fog gets in the way. So there's steps to clear that crap out of the way, so then you can open up your mind and just be still and silent. And I was worried. I was concentrating on everyone. I'm like, man, they're finishing fast. Wow, they must be better than me. And I was like nervous, right? In college. And I was being silent and listening and saying, come on, Malcolm's consciousness, soul, spirit, God, you know you have the answers. I just did this yesterday, and I just stayed still. And I reflected back on the pages, back on the chapters, and then everything started floating in the sky, in my vision. And I'm like, wow, yeah, that angle, that decimal point. And I started writing and doing things, closing my eyes, opening up my eyes, and becoming fast again. And I finished just on time with everybody else, got all our test results back. And the people that I thought I was falling behind of, I was actually the number one student in my whole class. And we can do this. We all can do this. We all can do this. Hi there. Yeah. What else? What else? So much is important. You know, when you get these frequencies, these signals, these low vibes in the universe, and we get susceptible to it, and we start to feel drained, and we get these headaches, and we get this brain fog, and we get all this anxiety and this inflammation and dis-ease. We don't have to stay in that. You know what we can do? Take a cold shower. Talk to God, talk to yourself, talk to Source, and say, I am in control. I am the light. You know, when I was a kid, I used to walk around to get over my fear of being scared of ghosts and demons in the dark. I just did it. I just stayed in that fear. And I was comfortable being uncomfortable. And the lights were off. And usually I would run from light switch to light switch. And I stayed in the dark, and I'm like, I'm the light. Come after. I don't care. I'm going to get you. I'm better. I'm stronger. And that's what I taught my kid. That's what I taught my kid. And I challenged him. I turned off. I said, go downstairs. You're not turning on the lights. Because the kids do that. They run from the one light switch down to the next, and they get like, you know, all kids do that. So I did what I did at a young age, and I challenged him. I made him do it. And that's what you have to do to make them get over that. Because TV and TV shows and these YouTube channels and TikToks and whatnot, Siren Head and Squid Game, all this scary, weird grandpa, grandma, you know, granny, scary things scare these kids nowadays, but it stays in their subconscious mind. So we got to do continuous work on them and ourselves. So cold showers, meditation will not help you unless your life is in balance and harmony. So what that means is waking up first thing in the morning in gratitude, sending love to our enemies, doing the work without saying, I'm a victim, and justifying, well, they did me wrong. I'm not going to send them love. How did I do it? Why would I send love to somebody who raped me? Why would I do that? Do you think I'm going to go knock on their door and hug them and be like, I love you? No, but we have to release that stuff. We have to let it go. We have to let it go. Do you hear me? We have to let it go. When we let it go, we start to build self-esteem, confidence, self-love, determination, empathy, security, confidence, right? So we start accumulating the things that we lost as a child. When we start putting in the practice, then we look at ourselves differently. We're like, wow, I did that. Okay, wow, we're in an argument right now. I'm going to hold my breath. I'm going to breathe actually 5 times, deep breaths. And in the midst of being in an argument, I'm going to do the work, do what's hard. Instead of yawning and saying, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, instead of feeling the headache and pitying yourself, saying, oh, I have this, I have that, don't say what you don't want. Say, my mind is expanding. Maybe my consciousness should be aware right now. Maybe it's growing. I'm tapping into something better right now. You know, fake it with action. Don't fake it laying down. Fake it and wake up and get up and do things with your life. Then you make it. You know, I never thought self-love was important. I always thought holding in my tears, now I don't need to cry. I let it all out one day. But this is not about letting it out and holding it in. This is about self-love, whatever that means to you. I never was loved properly the way you hear the definition of self-love. And I was never able to love myself because I was always condemned and crucified and victimized and justified and talked and belittled over, right? So when you're brought up and you're immune with that lifestyle and that mindset, how do you self-love, right? There's a lot of people, women, men, children, adults, late in life, that don't know how to self-love. And then they have ego and pride. They say, oh, I self-love all the time. I self-love. And then you have to break it down. Okay, what does self-love look like? Oh, I go and I have drinks and I hang out and I try to spend alone time with myself all the time. And you hear people talk and talk and talking and talking, and you don't want to condemn and crucify. You don't want to make people look low, right? You want to not judge people. You want to listen, sit back and listen with a smile and be like, okay, let them say their thing, but your awareness obviously knows what they're doing, right? So I that's what I do. And sometimes I don't say it in the right time, but I have to say it eventually when I get the chance to do a proper time with them, right? Then I ask detailed questions and I find out and I say, okay, well, can I tell you, so this is what you've done, what you've tried. Are you open? Are you willing to know more? Are you a student of life? Are you willing? Because my thing is, if you want help, you have to surrender, drop your pride and ego, and be open. It's not for me, it's for Source and you, so God can be there for you, and then I can be a better guide, so I can enter your mind and help you out clearly without that ego and pride and anger and justification and victim mindset. Then I will be like, okay, look, then I can come a little bit under attack. We need to take the attack. If you can take the attack, then you can have a better marriage. If you could take the attack, you could have a better relationship with your children. If you could take the attack, you could have a better relationship at school, at work, with friends, with colleagues. We're not willing to let it go. When we take the attack, you're taking the poison. Don't take the poison. Be bigger, be wiser, be better. Let it go to the point where it's like you have no issues. Someone can go like this to you and you're like, what? You get to a level of consciousness where you're like, say what you say. Like, that's you. That's in you. That's in you. When you squeeze Dr. Wayne Dyer, listen to him every morning. When you squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice, right? When you make apple juice, you cannot expect something else coming out, but what comes out of us when we're squeezed, that's in you. Bitterness, anger, justification, victim mindset, having the answer for everything. But for once in your life, let that all go and just be open and say, don't even think, don't say anything, just seek answers, seek wisdom, and actually ask him, like, yeah, tell me, I want to know more, tell me, but be really authentic. Find out the truth. Tell me more. Like, yeah, maybe I want to change. Maybe I'm not perfect. Maybe I am dumb. Admit it. Face your fraudulence in the face, in your eyes, and look at yourself and look at every wrong that you have done. Look at yourself. If you are a liar, if you avoid, if you justify, if you have a victim mindset, you have ego and you boast yourself so much, glamorize yourself, look in your eyes. You're a fraud. That's what you need to do. Fraudulence. Look at the fraudulence in yourself. Start there. And then take a look at my mirror work exercise. Or reach out to me and I will do it for you. I'll do it with you. A guided mirror talk exercise. And people who get the best results are the ones who are ready and realize that they just want to grow. They're done being a sheep. They're done thinking that everything that they have learned in time and space is reality. Let go of that. It is not true. What you think you know is just the tip of the iceberg. And the beginning of a tip of the iceberg is another iceberg or another mountain. The end of one tip is the beginning of another. Someone else said it best, but yeah. See, look, I would love if there was 100 people on here right now and I put my link on here. I would love to see who has the courage to join and express and talk or surrender or do a session live or redeem themselves live or tell their fraudulence live or their failures live, what they've gone through, who's hurt them, who's fucked them over live. A person who is not afraid to speak the truth even when they know the world is going to look down, frown upon them, and know that world that's going to frown upon them is just the bullshit anyways, that's the person who's really ready to change. This is not an attack on people. This is not anger, frustration. This is just when you are ready to make something happen, it's a message, it's passion, it's love. It's not a hate speech. Sometimes people need to hear it. Sometimes people don't change with love and patting and rubbing on the shoulder. They don't grow like that. You grow from your lessons in life. Would you rather learn from lessons of life now or go through the lessons of life and then learn? Do you want to wait 5 years to find out something you could find out now? I see it to my kids all the time. And you know what they say? No, I'd rather learn now. But you know what kids say when they're 12, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old? Oh, Mom, Dad, I'll live and I'll learn. No, you won't live and you'll learn. You'll die with things that you could have learned way better, way faster, way sooner is if you just understood to surrender, drop your ego, face the fraudulence in the eyes, understand yourself, self-love, dignity, self-image, your character, your identity. Mom is in the bed. She's sleeping in the bed. No, in her bed. Yeah. She's in our room. Yeah, so it's 1:30. And give me 1 second. Okay, well, I can say a lot more. I don't know, well, what you guys are looking for. I just want to get across to you to look at yourself, look at the fraudulence, look at the fraudulence in the face, in the eyes, at face value, and take your time to look within and understand yourself and what you're doing right and what you think is right may be wrong. And what you think is wrong or what you know is wrong needs understanding, compassion, love, and forgiveness. And do it better again. Change, get better. But I'm gonna end this. I rarely do things like this, so if you like this, let me know or say something or join me, because this is rare that I do this. I'm not one of those showboats. I don't showboat and come here try to doing things because I know this is to catch people's interest. I don't care to do that. But I'll do it to serve a purpose. I will do it. There's many purposes. Let's talk about purpose. There's many purposes, common sense. I'm not, when I say I'm not here to just do that, but there's people online, millions of people that have this as their mission. They want to always have a thumbnail a certain way, smile a certain way, look a certain way, or choose a certain sexy image a certain way, or add a hashtag a certain way, or they want to add a catchphrase or something that grabs that attention. I understand it's to reach the right people and to reach people so people get the message so we can get it out there better. That's great and all, but that's not just the one purpose, you know. I'm saying mind, body, spirit connection, you know, work, your time, your family, money, success. What is true success? What is your health set? What is your mindset? What is your spiritual set? What is the way you talk, the way you look at people, the way you condemn people, the way you talk to people, the way you talk all the time. I went to an event yesterday, and I kid you not, I was hearing the same conversation that I thought was a one-on-one conversation, me and somebody. I hear them having that same conversation over and over and over. It's like the only paradigm they have. And then yet they want to contradict back and forth. Oh, I know what to do. I can fix it myself, and I've done so good. I'm so great. But are they really ready to change? If they're really ready to change, they're going to freaking take massive action, which means immediate, not stagnant action where in 1 day, 2 days, 5 days they'll make a decision. No, it's like make a decision. Sacrifice your life. If you want to quit smoking cigarettes, sacrifice your death for life. And then take another puff and see if you die. That's what I did. And I caught pneumonia because I sacrificed. That's how, a matter of fact, I wanted to change, but it was so hard that I caused myself pneumonia. Sometimes if you're that messed up, you have to make those kind of choices. I'm not saying everybody has to. Not all smokers that want to quit smoking has to say, I choose my death over life. I'm saying a decision is a decision. It's a choice. It's an instant. It's a sacrifice. Why do you want to quit? So you can focus on your health, get better, right? Walk your children down the aisle, be a better husband, be a better wife. Well, I'm off. Peace. I'm gonna go drink some water. And if you want to know some steps to find some self-love, true compassion, and release and let go of what's harboring inside, I can help you. We can let it go. Because I've had some harboring deep wounds. Everything that I'm talking against was the person I was. A lot of us are still.